Egyptians were casting their ballots in the runoff of the first phase in 7 governorates. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Dr. Ahmed Sharaf, educational consultant. Good evening, sir.
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to be with all of you.
It's our pleasure, sir, to have you with us. Dr. Sharaf, how do you see the participation in the voting process and the turnout of the Egyptian citizens as reflecting the public confidence in the electoral process?
I think it's very impressive to see something like that. The recent parliamentary elections in Egypt, as a matter of fact, represented a significant milestone in the country's ongoing process of political stabilization and institutional consolidation. Held in a complex regional and global context marked by political tensions, economic pressures, and security challenges, the elections demonstrated Egypt's ability to organize a large-scale democratic exercise in a secure and a transparent manner. So the elections, as you know, took place within a broader framework of political reform and state-building efforts at strengthening representative institutions. And within this context, the parliamentary elections were not merely a routine electoral event, but rather a critical test of institutional maturity and the political resilience. The ability to hold elections on schedule, despite regional instability and global economic turbulence, reflects a stable political environment and a functioning state apparatus. This is very remarkable, as a matter of fact. The voter turnout in the parliamentary elections, Ahmed, because you asked me about that, it reflected a growing awareness among the citizens of the importance of legislative institutions in shaping public policy. Participation by women, youth, and first-time voters were particularly significant, indicating a gradual expansion of political engagement across different segments of society. Such engagement underscores a broader shift in political culture where citizens increasingly view parliamentary representation as a legitimate and effective channel for expressing interests and influencing national decision-making process. Ahmed?
Yes, Dr. Sharaf, not only the Egyptian inside Egypt, also Egyptian expatriates were keen to cast their ballots, and there was a high turnout despite the several runoff and several reruns of the first phase and the second phase, seeing it as a national duty. What's your comment?
Well, the participation of Egyptians abroad, including me, for example, in the recent parliamentary elections constituted also a significant dimension of the electoral process and reflected the state's commitment to inclusive political representation. So, by enabling citizens residing outside Egypt to cast their ballots at embassies and consulates, the elections reaffirmed the principle that political rights extend beyond geographical boundaries. The voter turnout among Egyptian expatriates demonstrated a strong sense of national belonging and political responsibility. And despite differences in time zones, by the way, work commitments and logistical challenges, many citizens abroad made a deliberate effort to participate, underscoring their continued engagement with Egypt's political and institutional life.
Yes.
The organization of overseas voting was marked by a high degree of coordination and professionalism. And I would tell you that diplomatic missions provided also clear procedures, secure voting environments, and judicial oversight, ensuring transparency and credibility. Ahmed?
Yes, Dr. Sharaf, a very well organized electoral process and a very well secured and high security measures for the election process. How did you follow the election process?
Well, I would say that the process of elections, I'm talking here about the recent parliamentary elections, let me tell you in a nutshell and in a crystal clear statement, it stands as a testament to Egypt's inclusive approach to political participation. It highlights the role of the Egyptian expatriates' involvement as an integral part of the national politics, and it contributes to legitimacy and representatives of the elected legislative body. I would tell you also that the participation of Egyptians inside the country and outside the country, in a nutshell, it carries a symbolic and practical significance. Symbolically, it reinforces national unity and strengthens the bonds between the state and its diaspora. And practically speaking, it broadens the representative base of the parliament by incorporating perspectives shaped by international exposure and also diverse socio-economic experiences.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Ahmed Sharaf, Educational Counselor. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Resuming our news bulletin and panorama news, as Egypt have resumed sending aid to Gaza Strip on Sunday. The Egyptian Red Crescent announced that 103rd aid convoy of Zad al-Izza aid initiative began entering into Gaza through a secondary gate of the Rafah land port. Convoys are searched by the Israeli occupation forces in Karam Abu Salim crossing south of the Strip before entering Gaza. The convoy includes